Well, hello, everybody, and welcome. You have tuned in to episode number 397 of Linux in the Ham Shack, the most terrific amateur radio podcast on the internet. And this is the weekender edition of the podcast where we talk about upcoming amateur radio contests and events, upcoming open source events, lots of things you can do and try over the next 2 weeks. And then we get into food and music and drink and all the things that make life worth living. So let's just get let's just apparently some of us have started the weekend early, so let's go ahead and just get right into it. I'm Russ, K5TUX.
I'm Cheryl, W5MOO.
And I'm Bill, NE4RD.
All right, and since we're in the sauce and we probably need to get in before we drown in it, we'll let Bill start with this weekend in amateur radio, and he hits us with the contests, and we'll let him go ahead and tell us what they are.
Absolutely. And, of course, we get all these contests from contestcalendar.com, the most wonderful and amazing contestcalendar.com in the universe. So check that out. This weekend, there are no state QSO party challenges or worked all QSO parties. Why is that? Because we have the big ARRL International DX contest. It is the only contest you should be thinking about this weekend. This is the time to get your DXCC on. And it is running from 0 Zulu March 6th to 2400 Zulu March 7th. The bands there are 160 through 10, no work. And of course, this is single side band. And I'm just going to confirm my 160 meters because that just does not sound right, but I'm sure it is. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. Nope, 160 through 10. So there you go. I just wanted to confirm. Sorry. I thought maybe I copied that and it didn't work. But yeah, 160 through 10. So top band through 10 meters. It's no work, single side band. So you're going to talk as much as you want. I heard, this past weekend, a lot of people getting on the single side band, top band contest. The conditions were a little bit weird, but there were a lot of contacts made. So, top band is definitely going to be an option. 10 meters. Definitely going to be an option. 6 meters has been popping up and being open. So definitely get on and make sure that you're working and logging and sending that login. Again, this counts toward your DXCC. So definitely do it. The ARRL International DX contest. Next weekend. Well, if you didn't work them on 10 in South America, this is the time to get it going because this is next weekend. There's the South America 10 meter contest, and it runs from 1200 Zulu March 13th to 1200 Zulu March 14th. It, of course, is on 10 meters, single sideband and CW. So, get them, work them, log them, and send it in. It's a good time to work South America. I don't know, when I'm on 10 meters.
Rick 'em, rack 'em, ruck 'em, ruck 'em, get the ball and really fight.
Brick 'em, rack 'em, yeah, exactly. 10 meters, let's burn that band alive on next weekend. So let's make sure that 10 meters is open. The more you transmit, the more you help your neighbors get on 10 meters. I truly believe that the activity creates propagation. So get on there and make it happen. And of course, next weekend as well, we have a top band contest. It's the Stu Perry Top Band Challenge. It runs from 1500 Zulu March 13th to 1500 Zulu March 14th. Of course, top band 160 meters. This mode is CW. And what is this? This event was created by a small group of contesters who were interested in 160 meters top band. The most unique feature of this contest is that the point value of the QSOs depends on the distance between two stations. You are given 1 point plus another point for each 500 kilometers of distance. Points are also multiplied for lower power categories for both the sending and receiving stations. And I'll give you a little hint here. I have done actually a lot of work on 160 meters with 5 watts. It is totally possible. And you just have to just keep on trying. So if you want to earn a lot of points, hell, try QRP CW Top Band during the Stu Perry Top Band Challenge and enjoy some fun next weekend. Hey, and talking about next weekend, we also have the State QSO Party Challenge and the Worked All QSO Parties. We have 2 of them. We have Oklahoma and Idaho. So get on there, Oklahoma and Idaho, work those stations and get those counties and those areas. And remember to turn in your logs and send them to 3830.com for 3830scores.com or whatever the heck it's called. If you have N1MM, it's already there. You can just go ahead and press the button and it sends it right out. If not, you have to go there and just upload your log. That's for the state QSO party challenge. And for the Workdale QSO parties, you need to actually send the log in to the states. So pay attention to those rules in those states and those log submission files. And with most QSO parties, you need at least 3 QSOs. My rule of thumb is always 5. Because you might not have copied a couple of them right. So they always send in more QSOs than you actually need and get those logs in. If you're going for the award, then obviously work them until the time runs out. So enjoy that QSO party challenge and get on there for Oklahoma and Idaho. And that's it for the contest for the next 2 weeks.
All right, very good. So there are a few special events coming up in the next few weeks as well. The one we've got here is the 1845 Florida Statehood Commemoration. This will be operating February 27th through March 7th, 1500 to 0300 Zulu daily. Call sign will be Whiskey 4 Foxtrot. Frequencies on or around 705, 7235, 1405, and 14285 on CW and single sideband. The Lake Monroe Amateur Radio Society of Seminole County with the ARRL North Florida section will operate W4F for a week to commemorate Florida becoming a state March 3rd, 1845. While not a contest, our club is pleased to have another special event 1x1 call available for fun operating to compare our sunny warm temperatures with that of your QTH. Sounds like they're rubbing your nose in it. But hey, we were pretty good today. 70 degrees. I'm digging it. Also, we have launching of the USSSSSS Midway commemoration. Back in the USSSSS Midway. Huh?
Way too many S's there.
I think I might have thrown 1 or 2 extra in there. This will be on March 13th only from 1700 to 2359 Zulu. The call sign is NI6IW. This will be on or about 7.250, 14070, and 14.230 on CW single sideband and PSK 31. The USS Midway was commissioned in 1945 and lasted until 1992, and its official international call sign was NIIW. In 2004, the ship became open as a museum. The first amateur radio call sign assigned was KG6ZTS in 6/28/2005. This is probably a lot of information you don't need to know. Anyway, they did a lot of work, and they came with a vanity call sign, NI6IW, to commemorate, because its call sign was NIIW. There you go. And it's in California. So there's a QSL card available. All the links and information will be in the show notes, so check it out. And, of course, you can look it up on QRZ.com as well. And then we have Arrows from the Air, which I've heard about these before, but I sort of lost touch with them, I guess. This special event will be operating from March 20th to the 21st, 1800 to 0300 Zulu daily. Call sign K7SWI. Frequencies on or about 3827, 7227, 14227, and 28427 on sideband. What are those giant arrows dotting the American landscape? The arrows were part of a federal project to speed up communication across great distances. Transcontinental air mail service began in 1920, but even with this advancement over ground travel, service was slow. Pilots had no sophisticated instruments, so they couldn't fly at night or in poor weather. The government built a path of 70-foot-long concrete arrows every few miles from coast to coast, each painted yellow and topped with a 51-foot steel tower that had a rotating beacon. Using the path, an airmail pilot needed only half the time to deliver a letter from New York to San Francisco. K7SWI will issue a certificate in QSL to all requesters. Please include SAZA. Self-addressed stamped envelope. For QS only and a self-addressed envelope. Oh, God.
Hazy.
K7SWI will issue SAZY. Certificate and QSL to all requested. Please include self-addressed stamped envelope for QSL only and a self-addressed stamped envelope with 1 green stamp, I'm assuming a stamp, for the QSL and certificate. So there you go. So no one does green stamps anymore. Dude, how old are you? So that's it for the upcoming amateur radio contest. We do have a couple of announcements.
We have one more. We have one more. That just came in from the chat room. This is the Last Man Standing TV show special event station.
Oh, I forgot about this one.
Sure it's the 24th. Yeah, it might actually come in the next one, but we'll mention it now. The Last Man Standing Amateur Radio Club is joining with a team of seasoned special event operators around the United States to present a multi-band, multi-mode special event celebrating the primetime network TV show for its positive and accurate portrayal of amateur radio. The event will start at 0 Zulu UTC on, or I guess Zulu and UTC are the exact same thing. 0 UTC on 24th March of 2021 and end at 23:59 UTC the 30th of March 2021, the last day of shooting for the show, which is concluding its long and successful run. During its 9 TV seasons, The Last Man Standing ARC operated as KA6LMS from real radios on the set during production breaks, making thousands of contacts with the show's amateur radio fans. DMR operation and D-Star on a reflector REF012 Alpha will be courtesy of the Los Angeles-based Papa Alpha repeater system. D-Star reflector 030 Bravo will be courtesy of Georgia D-Star. The intent is to operate on as many bands and modes as possible, including single sideband, CW, and several digital modes. Satellite and repeater operation is also encouraged. A number of bonus stations with a special 1x1 call signs and a KA6LMS stroke call area guest operators will be positioned around the country to increase the access to the event when the actual on-set radios are in operation. The bonus stations may act as relays to assist contacting Kilo Alpha 7 Lima Mike Sierra. Participating stations may download a QSL certificate. A special clean sweep certificate will be available for those who qualify. KA6LMS and a number of affiliated stations will live stream their operations. At times, the AmateurLogic.tv team will pick up video feeds and from active stations to provide commentary and context. I'm assuming what is that? What was that TV show? Like TV 2000 or something? I can't remember.
We're just going to let you flounder. So.
Yeah. Whatever that show is. You just sit there and talk about movies while they're playing. What was that show called? It was on
Mystery Science Theater 3000. Is that what you're talking about?
Mystery Science Theater. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, hey, we could do it too here at the LHS podcast. We have a YouTube channel and absolutely nothing better to do than to live stream on top of a live stream. So anyway, so there's one more option. We'll be talking about it again probably in the next weekender, but we wanted to mention it now because it was so graciously mentioned by one of our live listeners, K4XSS Tony. Thanks a lot, Tony, for pasting that into the Discord chat room. And if you're not in the Discord chat, please join us on Thursday nights when we record the show so you can tell us what we're missing live and on the air.
Are you done?
I stopped. That was a great transition. Come on. That was like almost professional radio quality. You were just supposed to pick right up. Come on. What's going on over there?
I'll pick right up in post. So coming up,
yeah.
So back to announcements. We have our next episode, which is going to be a deep dive episode. Not the next episode. The next deep dive episode is going to be on.
No, I want to hear you do this one.
On what? OpenRTX?
Well, when we have the episode discussion of which episode is going to drop first.
Oh, we're not going to have that discussion. We'll figure that out one later.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, check out the next deep dive, which will be on OpenRTX, a cool new project. And if you want to check that out, a link to that project will be in the show notes, and we'll be interviewing the guys who developed that. And this has more to do with digital radio and M17 and all that kind of stuff that we've been talking about lately. So it sort of follows.
Ladies.
We're kind of on yeah. I don't think you have any room to talk. So anyway, I'm gonna take
Oh, my Lord.
Another announcement, which is that the mailing list that we used to have does not work anymore. I'm working on recovering it, but there is no mailing list right now. So if you're wondering why there haven't been people signing up for the mailing list, there isn't one. But as soon as I get that restored, we will let everybody know where they can sign up again. And that being said, Bill wants to tell you about something that he is doing for the show and for our subscribers and Patreons.
That's right, episode 400, which we will officially record sometime during the Ham Radio Expo, most likely at 2 p.m. Central during the show. We record episode 400, in which we will actually award one of our lucky subscribers or Patreons with a Raspberry Pi 400 kit. And depending on what that kit is actually defined as in your country, that's what you'll get, because that's what I'll be ordering for you from my personal web browser. I guess that's how it works. Anyway, so we will be selecting one lucky subscriber / Patreon. We'll be posting you all into a randomizer selection list, and I will select one of you to win this, and I will personally send this to you via ordering it and making it your deliver address. So, so we really appreciate all the supporters over the years and all the Patreons. And if you're not a current supporter or Patreon and want to be one, please do that prior to us having this event. It will be, I think we're closing the list on March 11th at midnight Central Time. So if you are a member or a Patreon during that period of time, we will ensure that you are part of this particular drawing that we will be doing for our members and Patreons. If you are not interested in becoming a member or Patreon and still want a Raspberry Pi 400, I suggest you go to CanaKit and order one yourself, because I will not be buying you one. I can't do it for people that aren't helping the podcast to continue to flourish and grow, and we can only flourish and grow with your support, because we do not take any advertisers. We do not take any other income except for what you all provide out of your pockets and consider a value for value membership to the podcast. So please, we really appreciate what you're doing, and I appreciate what you're doing. And this is a sort of a little reward and opportunity for those members that are interested in supporting the program. So if you want to join, please join. If you're only joining for this particular contest, don't join. I don't want you to join for a contest, because that's stupid. Only join if the content's worth giving to. I mean, we're here spending our time to produce content for you. And if it's not worth any value, I don't want you to spend any money on it. It's not worth anything to you. Just go away. So if it's worth something
wow,
to you,
you're really selling this. I mean,
if it's worth something to you, then participate in it. Otherwise, we're not giving away stuff for nothing. We have stickers. You can buy a sticker for $2, and it's on the website if you want to buy something for something small. If you next time we're at Hamvention, if you come visit us, we may give you a sticker because you have a nice conversation with us. But this is something special for the people that have been helping us all along, all the time. So, and the people that are continued supporters of the program. So that's what we're doing. It's not a, open to everybody type process. So please, if you're going to become a member or a subscriber, please do it by March 11th at midnight Central Time, and listen live at the QSO Today radio show. We will have it via AirMeet or whatever. I'd have no idea. I don't have the details yet. But either way, it'll be the podcast that comes out as episode 400 in any form or fashion.
Okay, and if you remember any of that, then hooray to you. All right. But anyway, yes.
That's not horribly incoherent. Come on.
It's not, but you are. Okay,
wow.
So we do have a ham radio challenge, which I already mentioned was to check out OpenRTX, maybe get yourself a little bit familiar with the project or any part of M17. which we have talked about before the upcoming deep dive. And check out digital VHF and UHF radio anyway. And maybe even some digital HF like Codec 2's free DV and all that stuff. And then also make sure to sign up to be at the QSO Today Virtual Ham Radio Expo so we can see you there. And you can see us. And you will be able to see us, actually, for episode number 400 because it will be video stream. And that might be cool. It might not be cool. We all have faces for radio, but it is what it is. We're down to this weekend in open source, and Bill is going to tell us about a distribution you can try if you want to play around with some new distribution or maybe an old distribution.
The Kali Linux 2021.1 release, codename Command Not Found. That's pretty cool. I actually like that. Today we're pushing out the first Kali Linux release of the year with Kali Linux 2021.1. This edition brings enhancements of existing features and is ready to be downloaded or upgraded if you have an existing Kali Linux installation. A summary of the changelog since 2020.4. Let me get that right. Release from November is they've changed it to XFCE 4.16 for those XFCE people. Our preferred and current default desktop environment has been updated and tweaked. For the KDE people, they have the KDE 5.2.0 Plasma. Also received a version bump. Terminals. Let's see here. We got Mate Terminal, Terminator, and Tilix. All have various work carried out on them. Command Not Found, a helping hand to say if a program needs to be installed. Partnership with more tool authors, BC Security, Juhoi, I don't know, whatever. Have been producing a great tools, and we wanted to support them. New tools and updates. Multiple tools have been added to Kali and are ready for you. Kali Net Hunter, a new BusyBox and Rookie version, and boot animation.
Wait, did you become Canadian? Did you just say a boot?
Oh no, a boot. That's pretty funny. Anyway, Kali ARM. I'll have to disconnect or whatever while you're doing the food. Kali ARM preliminary support for parallels on Apple Silicon, including the Apple M1. In case your SSD hasn't completely burned itself up from all the SSD issues that they've been having, and Raspberry Pi 400. Hey, let's mention episode 400 again. Wi-Fi support. Those builds are out there and available for Kali. Kali project itself also has a couple of different changes. The new Kali website, if you may have noticed a few things, it looks a little bit different. Maybe a little sexier, who knows? The Kali newsletter, rather than coming to us for updates, you can get them directly in your mailbox. So you can subscribe to the Kali newsletter. And remember that Kali is, it's not necessarily a distribution that you'd run as your daily driver. It really is for doing specific testing and or white hat, dare I say, intrusion testing and penetration testing for your own networks and stuff like that. It gives you a lot of tools for doing that. Kali is very popular for being able to collate all the tools you need to do a little bit of network security investigations and whatnot on your own infrastructure. So it's not necessarily the best distribution for you to run as a daily driver, although we have run it as an LHS installer build, and we gave it an LHS readiness score of probably a 4.7, I think it was. I did look at it earlier today, but I probably have forgotten it. But 4.7. So it is an Ubuntu build, so you can put all kinds of the Ubuntu software directly on it. So it's a kind of a cool distribution, but it's very specific for doing this penetration testing and doing all kinds of forensic work on intrusion incidents. Yeah, something like that. So yeah, check it out. The new Kali is out, 2021.1. It's available for your ARM and M1 and x86 and AMD 64 processors. So enjoy it, have fun.
All right, very cool. So now we've come down to the part of the show where Bill disconnects and reconnects so he's not 6 seconds delayed. And while he's doing that, Cheryl is going to tell us about the open source events that are coming up, including the one that I forgot to repost. But she'll hit it hard, I'm sure, and let you know all about the Storm Spotter stuff and a bunch of other things. So go for it.
Alrighty then. So I mentioned last time that the National Weather Service Forecast Office in St. Louis is offering free virtual spotter classes to prepare for the hardest severe weather season. If you'd like to assist your local community by becoming a volunteer storm spotter and reporting severe weather to the National Weather Service, or if you simply want to learn more about severe weather, consider attending one of their virtual sessions. The attendees are taught the basics of thunderstorm development, storm structure, features to look for, and where to find them. What, when, and how to report information to them is also covered. Attendees will need a desktop or laptop computer to view the presentation. Additionally, they will use interactive polling software throughout the presentation that you'll need to use your cell phone for, provided you want to participate. The classes that are still remaining are Saturday, March 6th, from 10 to 11:15 a.m., Wednesday, March 10th from 7 to 8:15 p.m., and Saturday, March 20th from 2 to 3:15 p.m. These are Central Standard Times. Because we're in the middle of spring weather in Missouri, these courses may be canceled or changed on short notice, provided, there's active weather that affects it. They'll let everybody know these changes via the website and their social media channels, and the link to register, and only register for one course, will be in the show notes. The next thing going on is the Linux Foundation Spring Member Meeting. It's on March 9th. It's online and it's free, but it's for members only. The Linux Foundation Member Summit is the annual gathering for Linux Foundation member organizations. Due to COVID-19, we'll be delaying the next in-person member summit to November 2021 so that attendees can get the full benefit of the event, which includes face-to-face collaboration and interaction. In the interim, we will be hosting the special member meeting on March 9th, 2021, so that the Linux Foundation can share timely information and announcements with members on new project launches, exciting project updates, and the latest on what's happening at the Linux Foundation. There's more information in the show notes regarding that. The next thing going on is Python for non-programmers. It runs from March 8th through the 12th. It's online. The cost is 1,422 euros, or approximately $1,798 US. The course is designed for participants without any prior programming experience. Prerequisites are only some experience with an operating system and a general understanding of common computer tasks, such as Office software or similar applications. More information in the show notes. And the last thing is the Red Hat Open Source Summit. It's April 27th and 28th. It's online, of course, and it is free. And the information on that is the premier open source event is expanding to become an all-new, flexible conference series, consisting of 2-part immersive visual experience, as well as a global tour of small-scale in-person events. The series will create collective opportunities to share experiences, innovations, and insights. Red Hat Summit 2021 is where we come together to uplift perspectives in enterprise IT all around the world, ensuring that every contribution has a place, every person has a voice, and every question has a meaning. And of course, there's more information in the show notes about that as well.
All right, very good. Thanks for bringing that up for us, especially the thing which is not really open source, but the Storm Spider thing is kind of cool. Probably should have been in the amateur radio stuff, but whatever.
Probably, but I saw that it was missing too late.
That's okay. It's where it needs to be. We already mentioned checking out OpenRTX and registering for the QSO Today Virtual Ham Expo, so make sure you do both of those things. We'd like to see you there at the expo anyway, and maybe we'll see you online using OpenRTX. Who knows? It's got some development to go, but it'll get there eventually. So with that said, let's go ahead and run headlong down our slip and slide into the pool, and hopefully don't jump past it into the brick retaining wall of hedonism. Anyway, we start that with Cheryl's Recipe Corner. Oh, and we've got fish tonight in the Recipe Corner.
Ooh,
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's spring. It's about Easter time, and of course that means Lent for a lot of people. So around here, everybody's got fish on Fridays. So I thought, a fish recipe would be good. So I pulled out my Parmesan crusted tilapia recipe. Russ is always game for fish because he was raised on the ocean. And it's been a very long time since I've fixed this, probably 15 or more years. But it's a super simple recipe. You need some grated Parmesan, some paprika, some parsley, some tilapia or cod or whatever fish you want to use. It's totally doable. And a lemon cut into wedges. In a shallow dish, preheat your oven to 400 degrees. In a shallow dish, combine the cheese with the paprika and parsley, season with salt and pepper, drizzle the fish with olive oil, dredge in the cheese mixture, place on a foil-lined baking sheet, bake until the fish is opaque, which probably about 10, 12-ish minutes, and serve the fish with lemon wedges. So that's the whole recipe right there. And then for my mixed drink corner, because it's spring, I pick the Tequila Honeysuckle, which calls for 2 ounces of Blanco tequila, 3/4 of an ounce of honey syrup, which is equal parts honey and water, and 3/4 of an ounce of lime juice. Combine everything in a shaker, shake with ice, strain into your favorite margarita glass, and garnish with a lime wedge. And have fun.
Well, that sounds good. It probably goes well with tilapia as well.
It probably would, yeah.
Tequila goes well with everything, especially the end of an evening.
There you go.
Okay, so with that said, we'll come over to my drink corner, where tonight I am going to talk about something I thought I already did talk about, but I did not find it on my list, and that is the Dalmore 12-year-old single malt Scotch whiskey. And a description I found of this whiskey is commonly referred to as simply the 12, which is a load of BS because there's a lot of 12s out there. The Dalmore 12-year-old single malt is the opening selection from the Dalmore's principal, and they're using the Ohio State University. Yeah, whatever. Alongside the 15, 18, and 25-year-old, the collection is rounded out with this revamped Cigar Malt Reserve and King Alexander III non-age statement releases. This particular single malt spends the first 9 years of its aging process housed in ex-bourbon barrels before half of the whiskey is separated out. One half of the whiskey remains in ex-bourbon barrels, while the other is aged in 30-year-old Gonzales Bias. So it says Bias. Gonzales Bias Methuselam Oloroso Sherry Butts. Bias Butts. Okay. For those remaining 3 years. The two halves of the Dalmore 12 are then brought back together as a single finished product. So there you go. So it is a single malt. The mash bill on it, of course, is 100% malted barley. Proof, they proof it down, and they may even caramel color it. I'm not sure. And they probably chill filter it, too, which makes it crap. No, I'm just kidding. It's at 80 proof, 40%. It comes from Alness, Scotland. It's a classic amber color. If you think about what amber looks like, especially the ones that have mosquitoes encased in them, that's what the color is. The nose on it, not too bad. A little bit of cinnamon and baking spices, some vanilla, toasted almond, and a little caramel, like burnt vanilla caramel, sort of like brulee almost. So it's not too bad. The taste on it is pretty good, pretty fruity and chocolatey. It has a taste like chocolate, orange, a little bit of coffee and toffee, some spiced oak, winter spice, like a little evergreen or mint almost, and of course some sherry because it does age in sherry barrels. And the finish on it is medium long, and most of the finish is just a little bit of orange, some of the toffee, or you might pick up caramel, and the oak barrel spice. So there's a few notes on here. There's a few different things on the nose, on the taste, that sort of evaporate pretty quickly on the finish. But while it's got some complexity, the proof is really low, and I don't particularly find the combination of aromas and tastes in this particularly interesting. Maybe some of the older ones are better, but I don't think the 12 year is where you want to land on this, especially since it's a $60 plus bottle. And I'm just not really impressed, which is probably why it's been sitting on the shelf for a while. But I'll get through it one of these days. And so I'm going to have to rate it pretty low on my scale, so I'm going to give it an 82. So I'm definitely not going to recommend the Dalmore 12-year-old single malt. But, if somebody gives you one, don't throw it away. It's probably worth drinking for free, but I don't think I would recommend going out and buying it. So there you go. That's it for me. And Bill, we know you're drinking something. I know it's a horrible review.
Yeah. What am I drinking? Yeah.
What aren't you drinking?
Yeah. Yeah. Wild Turkey 101 with, it's in an old fashioned format.
I had an old fashioned earlier, so.
Yeah. So a couple of double old fashions and it just makes me non-podcast ready. Yeah. And I've fixed my priority on my QoS, so maybe I won't delay. Who knows? Who cares? Anyway, yeah. Wild Turkey 101, the best. Just, what'd you rate it? 92 or 93? It's pretty high.
Yeah, something like that. Especially
you should have it in your bar, period. There's
absolutely.
No question about it. So it makes a great sipper. It makes a great mixer. I can't have my cabinet without it. It's a great mixer. My wife loves it. So
your wife loves it?
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's her go-to. She likes Wild Turkey 101 and her Diet Coke. She loves it.
Oh, well, how about that? I didn't know she drank whiskey.
Yeah, she does. Yeah. She doesn't do anything else really, and she does white wine. So who cares about that?
She doesn't do anything else. She doesn't clean the house or go to work or anything like that. She just sits around drinking Wild Turkey.
Just Wild Turkey 101 and Diet Coke. She's the greatest. She's a college professor, for Christ's sake. Come on.
What do you think's in that coffee cup on her desk?
Yeah. She has one of these coffee cups that say, I'm checking your grammar as you speak type coffee cups. One of those snarky English professor coffee cups that you don't want to read while you're in an interview or something like that. So, but yeah. Wild Turkey 101 is the best. It's the bestest. It's great. Love it.
Yep. It's certainly way better than the Dalmore 12. So,
yeah,
all right.
That's
well,
what it sounds like. Geez, 80 right here. What did you say? 80 or what?
82.
82. That's pretty low.
Yep.
That's pretty bad.
Gonzalez Baez is a company.
It's Bayass, BYASS.
Sorry, Baez.
Bias.
Yeah, Gonzalez
Baez.
Baez is a company. Kind of.
Maybe they're biased.
Yeah, maybe.
Or maybe they're biased. They've got two of them.
I do have to mention what you reviewed the what was the one last week? The
Drambuie.
Drambuie. And I had it, and I want to say that I liked it a lot, but the part I missed in the review was the heavy anise flavor. But you say yours wasn't heavily anise flavored.
Yeah, see, I don't get it like you get it.
Yeah, that's kind of what I taste in mine. But I love it. I love anise, so it works out great for me. But I just really didn't get it from your review last week, and of course with it such a high score, I just wanted people to be aware that it could taste like anise. If you don't like black licorice or the anise flavor,
avoid it.
You may not like it at all.
Yeah.
Well, and I think that may be one of those genetic flavor marker kind of things, because while my review did say it had that black licorice flavor, it was not nearly as pronounced as it was for you.
That's kind of like the flavor. I imagined it as kind of like a very honey laced sambuco or something like that. That's kind of what I got when I tasted it. Now, I don't have a refined palate or anything like that, so I can't really go into the details beyond that. But that's kind of what I got. I got the really heavy honey, which is a really nice sweet, not overly sweet, but sweet. It's just, honey's always that weird sweet taste. It doesn't give you that sugary taste that is very heavy sugar. Honey's kind of whatever. It's a lingering sweet taste. And the anise, and I'm like, wow, this tastes like somebody put honey in my sambuco. And that's kind of what I got from it. I didn't really get everything else until I kept on, tasting it, and I kind of taste of some of those other notes that you mentioned and stuff like that. But yeah, I have a bottle here and it's great. I love it, but it's kind of one of those last drink of the night drinks. That's kind of where I position it. Yeah. It's not really a drinker drink. It's kind of like I guess is it an aperitif, or what do you call the last drink of the night?
Digestif or aperitif.
Digestif. Yeah. Something like, you just have one drink and it's just good by itself. And, I think everybody would, I don't know. If you don't like anise, you won't like it at all. So, but well, I like it. I like it. Yeah.
If nothing else, go to your local bar or whatever and get order a shot of it so you can see whether you like it or not before you go buy a bottle or whatever.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's it. That brings us down to the end of our program. So thanks everybody for tuning in to this edition of The Weekender, episode number 397 of Linux in the Ham Shack. We appreciate everybody who's tuning in and listening to us, whether it's live or whether it's during, after the fact with the podcast feed or however it is that you consume your podcasts. We really appreciate it. Make sure to check out our support options if you want to get involved with the program. And then, of course, there's an upcoming contest. So make sure you're, paying attention to that. And if you want to see us live on the QSO Today Virtual Ham Expo, we'll have that live podcast. Should be 2 p.m. Central on Saturday, March 13th, unless something changes, and we'll let you know. But with that, let's go ahead and mention the folks who are with us live tonight. We had Tom N4HAI, Tony K4XSS, Don KC9ZMY, Ted WA0EIR, and Stacy KB7YS. So thanks, everybody. And I think we're done for now. So we hope you have a great weekend and a great fortnight, and we'll catch you all again for the next one. This is, like I said before, episode 397 of Linux in the Ham Shack. I'm Russ, K5TUX.
I'm Cheryl, W5MOO.
And I'm Bill, NA4RD73.